Hi everyone, welcome to MCQs on Sexual Reproduction in Animals, Chapter 9 from Class 8 NCERT CBSE Biology. In today's video, we are going to discuss about the questions about the chapter Sexual Reproduction in Animals. The chapter I have already completed in my previous video. So today we'll be discussing some MCQs about it. So let's start with the MCQs. So let's start with the first question. The reproduction that takes place from the fusion of male and the female gametes. So the reproduction that takes place or happens due to the fusion of the male and female gametes is the most advanced type of reproduction, that is sexual reproduction, or option A. That is option A, because option B, C and D, that is asexual, binary fission and multiple fission, they are all modes of asexual reproduction. Binary fission takes place or it happens in amoeba, whereas asexual reproduction happens in lower class of animals. So option A is the correct answer. Moving to question number 2. In sexual reproduction, the gametes produce to form a offspring, embryo, zygote, none of these. So the gametes that are produced during sexual reproduction, what does it lead to or what does it form? It forms a zygote. When the fusion or when the two gametes fuses, that is the gametes, the reproduction, the gametes produce to form a zygote. First step after the fusion of the gametes is the zygote, followed by the formation of embryo, and finally after the birth they are known as offspring. The next question, the male gametes produced by the testes are also known as ovum, sperm, spores or zygotes. So the male gametes that are produced by the male reproductive organs is known as the sperms. That is, the correct option is answer B. The next question, the male reproductive organ constitutes of a penis, a pair of testes, vas deferens, all of these. So the human reproductive organ in males constitute of the penis, a pair of testes, the vas deferens. So it is basically all of these constitute the male reproductive system in human beings. So answer or option D is the correct answer. Next question, what does the female reproductive organ include? So what does the female reproductive organ constitutes of in human beings? It is a pair of ovaries, the fallopian tubes and the uterus, or all of the above. So it is the pair of the ovaries, the fallopian tubes, the uterus, all constitute the female reproductive system in human beings. So it is option D. The male gametes constitute of the head, a middle piece and the tail, all of these. Yes, the male gametes, if you see the structure of a male gamete, so it constitutes of a head. Yes, it constitutes of a head, a middle piece and a tail. It looks somewhat like this. This is the head and this is the middle piece, which consists of mitochondria, which actually produces the energy for their mobility, and the tail, which helps in their mobility, because the main and the primary function of the sperm is to move or for movement, because they have to travel a long distance in order to reach and then to fertilize the egg. So answer D or option D is the correct answer. Next question, the female gametes produced by the ovary is also known as the ova, the sperm, the spores, the zygote. It is the ova or the egg or the ovum that is produced by the female gamete. It is option A. A single matured egg is released into the oviduct in one of the ovaries every week, every month, every day or every year. So a single matured egg is released into the ovary, from the ovary into the oviduct every day, every week, every month or every year? It is every month that it is released. So one of the ovary produces one egg and it is released per month. Every month it is released. So it is option B is the correct answer, that is month. Next question. The development of the embryo takes place at the ovary, the fallopian tube, the uterus, or the stomach. So where does the female, or sorry, not the female, where does the embryo develop? After the formation or the fusion of the male and the female gamete, that is the formation of the zygote starts dividing. After the zygote starts dividing, this dividing cells is called the, or this divided mass of the cells is called the blastula, which moves or travels from the fallopian tubes and comes and sits in the uterus, where the further development takes place. So the correct option or answer is answer option C, uterus. It is the uterus where the development of the embryo takes place. That is, next further development of the embryo till the birth of the offspring takes place in the uterus. Next question, the biggest cell of the human body. So the biggest cell of the human body is the ovum, the egg, or the ova. That is the female gamete. It is option C is the correct answer. If you are asked what is the smallest cell of the human body, please remember that is the sperm is the smallest cell of the human body. So the correct option is answer C. The next question, the process by which the sperm fuses with the egg or an ova of the human body is called reproduction, fertilization, metamorphosis, or none of these. So it is the process by which the fusion of the egg and the sperm takes place is known as fertilization. That is option B. The next question, the fusion of the sperm nuclei and the egg nuclei by the process of fertilization results in the formation of embryo, fetus, zygote, or none of these. It is the correct answer is the formation of the zygote, that is option C. Please remember that immediately after the fusion of the male and the female gametes, it is called the zygote. Now once it starts developing, it comes and implants itself into the uterus, and then it is called the embryo. Now this embryo again keeps on dividing slowly when the growth has already taken place and the baby that is forming inside has exclusively differentiated its hand, its legs, its face, everything gets differentiated into, it can be identified as a human being. That time it is known as the fetus. It comes to be known as the fetus. And after the birth, it is called the offspring. So these are the names or the different names that is given to a developing embryo based on the stages of their development. So please keep that in mind. So here the correct answer is zygote or option C. Next question, the technique through which test tube babies are born is IVF, VVF, VFI, or none of these. It is IVF, through which the test tube babies are born, that is in vitro fertilization. In vitro fertilization means, in vitro means it is in the laboratory conditions, or under the laboratory conditions when anything takes place, it is called in vitro, which is under controlled conditions it takes place. Whereas we know that normal fertilization in a human being takes place in the woman's body. So as it takes place outside the woman's body under a controlled condition, it is known as in vitro fertilization, or in short it is IVF. The next question, the fertilization that takes place inside the body of the female is called internal fertilization, external fertilization, in vitro fertilization, or none of these. So when the fertilization takes place inside the female body or inside the body of the female, it is known as, obviously as it takes place inside, it is always known as internal fertilization, as it takes place inside the cell or inside the woman's body. So it is option A is the correct answer. Next question, the stage at which all the body parts of a developing embryo can be identified is known as the zygote, fertilization, fetus, or embryo. So it is called the fetus. Just now I described you the different stages, what is the name given to the offspring or to the embryo, developing embryo at different stages based on their developmental conditions. So when every part of the developing embryo can be identified, then it is called the fetus, or option C. The next question, mostly aquatic animals like fishes and starfish reproduce by internal fertilization, external fertilization, in vitro, or none of these. So they mostly undergo fertilization, that is external fertilization. So that is the female fish lays the eggs and the male fishes come and they infertilize the sperms on them into them, and the fertilization takes place outside the body of the female fish. So it is known as external fertilization. So the correct option is option B. The animals which give birth to the young ones are called dash animals, while those which lay eggs are called dash animals. So this is a very easy question. So let's understand that which animals give birth to the young ones. Is it oviparous, viviparous, viviparous, oviparous, or none of the above? So the animals which give birth to the young ones, they are known as the viviparous animals. They are known as the viviparous animals, whereas though lay eggs, as the eggs are also known as the ova or the ovum, it is also known as the ovi. This ovi, remember this in order to remember it, and also it is scientifically that ovi means ovum from ova or egg, so it is oviparous. So they give life or they take birth from the egg. So it is option B is the correct answer. Now, life cycle of a silkworm. So what is the correct pattern or the correct position of the life cycle of a silkworm? It is egg, caterpillar, pupa, adult, or egg, pupa, caterpillar, adult, or pupa, egg, caterpillar, adult. When we see the options, we can understand this pupa, egg, caterpillar, adult obviously is the wrong answer, because first, always for anything, first is the egg, then followed by the caterpillar, then followed by the pupa, and then the adult. So option A or answer A is the correct answer, that is egg followed by the caterpillar and the pupa and then the adult. The next question. The transformation of a larva into an adult through a complete drastic change is called. So in the life cycles of a butterfly or a frog, we will see that there is a complete transformation from one part to the next part when they are completing the life cycle. So this transformation is also known as reproduction no, fertilization no, metamorphosis or fission. It is known as metamorphosis. It is known as the process of metamorphosis which brings about this change. Even in the frogs, even you will find it in the silkworm. Answer C is the correct option. So next, the development of an outgrowth, that is bud, on the parental body, which later separates from the mother plant and grows into a new one. Such a condition is seen in, so the bud formation we have discussed when I have talked in the chapter that the bud formation is a mode of asexual reproduction. So the parental body develops a bud which grows on a size, and once it is grown, then it separates itself from the parent body and it develops or grows into a new plant. And this is seen in hydra, amoeba, silkworm or frog. So it is seen in the hydra, that is option A is the correct answer. The process by which the outgrowths of hydra which later separate and grow into a new plant is called. So what is the process known as? Now this process, the previous question told about which organism has it, and now we are asking that what is the process known as? That is the separation and growing of that bud into a new plant. Because it is a bud that separates and grows into a new plant, so it is also known as the process of budding. So multiple fission, binary fission and fragmentation is incorrect answer. The correct answer is option C. The type of reproduction which involves a single parent is known as sexual, asexual, vegetative or binary reproduction. So the type of reproduction which involves a single parent is known as asexual reproduction, because in sexual reproduction, in the chapter when we have studied, we told it that it is mandatory for in under sexual reproduction to have two parents, that is the male and the female, which is necessary to undergo sexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, only one parent is required, that is the female parent. So correct answer is option B. The first successful clone was performed for the first time by Robert Hooke, Ian Wilmot, Hans Septon and Sir John Gordon. It is the correct answer. If you have read the chapter thoroughly, you will know that the correct answer for the first cloning, successful cloning. See, cloning is such a technique or such a method. This has been tried for a long time. People have been trying it. Scientists over the world, throughout the world, they have been trying it. But the first successful clone, which actually was perfectly alive for years together, and that was developed by the scientist Ian Wilmot, that is option B. The other options, Hans Merman and Sir John Gordon, they also were cloned. They also are related to the term cloning, because Sir John Gordon was the first person, or he was the first to do cloning in frog, but they were not successful. So Sir Ian Wilmot was the first person who was successful in cloning a ship named Dolly. Next question. The process of cloning involves the production of an exact copy of a single cell, a particular living part, a complete organism, or all of these. So the process of cloning involves a complete exact copy of the particular one cell. It can be a particular living part of an organism or a full complete organism. So it exacts or it makes copies of all of them. It is cloning. It is not that only a particular complete organism has to be cloned, which is a very difficult thing, but it can be anything, a part of the organism, one single cell of the organism which can be cloned, successfully cloned, and it can be generated. So all of these is the correct answer, that is option D. So the next question. Internal fertilization occurs inside the male body, inside the female body, outside the male body, or outside the female body. So when we talk or when we tell it is internal fertilization, we have to keep it in mind. So it happens internally. So it has to be inside the body, not outside the body. If it is inside the body, it is inside the female body. Option B is the correct answer. The next question, the process by which a tadpole develops into an adult frog. So the process, we have already done this question, the process by which a tadpole develops into an adult frog is through the process of external fertilization. No. That happens in fishes. Budding. No. It is the process of regeneration in hydra that takes place. Binary fission, that is again the method of reproduction followed in amoeba. And finally, it is the correct answer is option D, metamorphosis. Sorry, the option shows as A, but it is option D, metamorphosis. The number of nuclei present in a zygote. So zygote consists of multiple nucleus, one nucleus, two nucleus, or three nucleus. So zygote is a form or is a formation. It happens only after the fusion of the male and the female gamete. We have told it number of times, multiple number of times. So the number of nuclei that is present in a zygote is obviously 2. That is answer C. Choose the incorrect combination of the reproductive terms: ovulation, egg, oviduct, uterus, sperm, testis, sperm duct, penis, sperm, oviduct, egg, uterus, menstruation, egg, oviduct, uterus. If you see the options, you will see ovulation. Ovulation is the process of egg formation, then the egg is formed, it moves into the oviduct or the fallopian tube, and finally it goes on to the uterus. So this is a correct sequence. Next is sperm, testis, sperm duct, penis. So sperm is produced in the testis, and then it is given into the sperm duct, which takes up the sperms, and then through the urethra it is passed on to the penis, from where it is given out. But here's the sperm, oviduct, egg, uterus. Sperm meaning sperm and oviduct. Oviduct is also the passage or through which the ovum or the egg moves. So sperm and oviduct and egg and uterus, they are not related. One remains, or one is in for the male reproductive system and another is for the female reproductive system. So this is the incorrect combination. Menstruation, egg, oviduct, uterus is again in the female reproductive system. So that is also the correct one. So the incorrect option is option C. The next, why does animal exhibit external fertilization produce large number of gametes or large number of eggs? So in external fertilization, you will see that a large number of eggs are produced. Why is it so? Is it due to ensure a better chance of fertilization, or as the animals are small in size, so they want to produce more offsprings? Food is available plenty in water. Water promotes in the production of large number of gametes. So the correct option is to ensure better chance of fertilization, as the eggs are laid outside the body, so it is difficult to take care of the eggs, so they lay large in numbers so that the fertilization also takes place. And even if there is any case of death or damage of the eggs, so that because it is huge in number, at least some of them might survive this tough condition. So in order to ensure that the next offspring, the next generation comes into being, they produce a large number of eggs, so that even if the mortality rate is high, at least some exist, or some of the eggs get fertilized and get born into new ones. So correct option is option A. Sorry, it is option A, is to ensure better chance of fertilization. Now these are some of the sentences which we are going to discuss whether they are true or false statements. Oviparous animals give birth to young ones. We have already discussed in questions that oviparous animals are the ones which lay the eggs, because from ovi it comes the ovum or the egg, so they lay the eggs. Viviparous are the ones which give birth to young ones, so it is false. Each sperm or male gamete is a single cell. Yes, each sperm is a single cell because it has only one nucleus. External fertilization takes place in frog. That is also true or correct, because external fertilization takes place in frog. Gamete gives rise to a new individual. Gamete does not give rise to a new individual. It helps in formation of the zygote, which gives rise to the new individual. Amoeba reproduces by budding. No, amoeba reproduces by binary fission. It is false. Fertilization is necessary for all modes of reproduction. It is not necessary for all mode of reproduction, because we have vegetative reproduction, we have asexual mode of reproduction. So fertilization is not necessary for all the modes of reproduction. It is only necessary for sexual reproduction. Binary fission is a type of asexual reproduction. Yes, correct. It happens in amoeba. And zygote is formed as a result of fertilization. Even that is also true. So A is false, B is true, C is true, again D is false, E is false, F is false, G and H both are true. So this brings us to the end of the video, where we have discussed the MCQs of the chapter Reproduction in Sexual Reproduction in Animals from Class 8 NCERT CBSE Biology. If you have liked my video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any queries, please put in the comments box. I'll surely get back to you. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll be coming back again with another chapter from Class 8 NCERT CBSE Biology. Till then, take care. Goodbye.